Great show. Thank you. Okay. One of the benefits of being a Cisco invested company is access to their worldwide network of customers. How do you take advantage of that network is something we're going to find out. We asked 3 invested companies for their top tips. I'm sitting here with Parain from Everything, Robert from Puppet, and David from N3N. Gentlemen, hello, how are you?
Doing well.
How are you enjoying the show so far?
It's been great. It's been fun.
I'm seeing a lot of people around the stands, which is really, really exciting. And I guess a fair mixture of those are going to be potential customers for your respective businesses. I want to talk about customers in this segment quite a lot, and I guess take you right back to early days of the respective businesses. What's it like when you get the customers for the first time and you kind of see them coming through the door, so to speak?
So for us, it depends on the customer. We have partners who we work with who sort of drive our business. We have the customers that we're trying to deliver solutions to. And then we have the end users as well, so the people that our customers are selling to. So it's quite a sort of a layered cake in a lot of ways.
Robert, I want to ask you about that. Parain was talking about that kind of segmentation, obviously, and thinking more broadly than just the general customer, which of course I think is really, really important. What about your kind of feelings from both identifying customers at one stage and then of course growing them as well?
Sure. With Puppet, we actually have 2 distinct customer sets. We have what we call our enterprise customers, who are customers who actually want Puppet support, are willing to pay for it, and then we have our open source community. And with the open source community, you have a lot of folks who are just trying out Puppet for the first time, trying to set up DevOps, trying to do automation and configuration management. But what happens, what we find for shows like this, is that these open source users come to these shows, see what we're doing with Cisco and specifically, and see how we can actually help them from an enterprise standpoint as well. And they're willing to go ahead and pay for the extra support that comes with Puppet Enterprise.
So by interacting with customers directly at an event like this, you get to perhaps have start a deeper relationship with them and understand a little bit more about what they need.
Absolutely. I mean, when you come to CiscoLive, there's incredible validation of what we're doing with Cisco from an integration standpoint, whether it's around their digital network architecture, UCS, or even their application-centric infrastructure. 3 areas that Puppet's very well engaged in. So as an open source user, you're coming in, you're seeing the power of what we do in those 3 areas, and you realize that there's a lot more to Puppet Enterprise than just what you're trying to do on open source.
David, I want to bring you in and I guess look sort of more broadly at sort of customers in general. For you, is it a huge market that you're playing to, or is it a much more specific, tighter kind of niche area?
Well, we play in the IoT space, which trillions of dollars, depending on how you measure it. Billions of IoT devices are going to be connected over the next several years. Economic value that's going to be created over the next 5 to 10 years. The measurements, estimates just go off the charts. So getting to customers is obviously very exciting. And we really focus on large enterprise customers, public sector customers, governments, public agencies, but also large enterprise, Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 type companies. And those are the folks that Cisco is working with. But I also want to speak to the partners as customers, right? We rely on Cisco as a partner, and we have other partners that help us. And when you come to a show like this, we also have internal customers. We have Cisco account managers who know of our solution, who have heard of us, and they're coming to our booth. They're saying, well, I know something about this. I've got something right here in Berlin right now. We need to talk. So that's very exciting as well. I mean, several dimensions to the idea of customers.
So tell me a little bit about how Cisco Investments has helped you reach customers.
Well, there's a number of ways. I mean, just coming to this event, they helped us set up a lot of meetings in advance, helping bring people by, making sure that, coming in and checking on us, making sure that we're finding the right people we need to speak to. And we have, I don't know where you guys are based, we're based in San Jose, just down the road from Cisco headquarters. And the investments team routinely holds workshops, a lot of it sales focused, which is not so much about introducing customers, but helping their portfolio companies understand how to talk to customers, how to find them, how to track them, how to report sales progress. Those have been immensely helpful.
Robin, can I bring you in on this as well? What's your sort of experience?
Well, I could give a specific example. About a month ago, we've been having problems getting together with one key reseller of Cisco's. And we had voiced that to the Cisco investments team, and they had brought in the founder as well as some of the executive team over to San Jose for us to have a specific meeting that we could present what Puppet was about and how it could impact this one particular reseller. And I think that's the power of the investments team, that they can tap in to the reseller community and really help companies that are smaller like us that are investments and bridge that gap to connecting with some of these key resellers.
So it's not just a benefit in name alone, you're actually finding real practical benefits from that sort of network. And Prane, what about yourself? I know that Cisco Investments help sometimes companies with regards to kind of training, access to customers and that sort of thing. What's your personal experience?
Well, so I'm a newbie at Cisco events, so I guess I can give that sort of perspective. My feeling so far has been that Cisco pays a lot of attention to you as an investment partner. They really care about what you're doing. They're interested in it. They're trying to figure out ways of sort of leveraging their experience and their capabilities to grow your business. So my first impression is a really positive one, and I can see the real long-term benefit of working alongside Cisco.
I want to talk about the benefits of an event like this, because I think sometimes it's very easy in the digital world to assume everything is all done online now, and perhaps you might make a phone call, but that's about it. Your own experience in terms of, have you done a number of events like this in the past?
Some things just can't be done by WebEx or by conference. You have to meet in person, and sort of the walking by the booth introductions as well. That's really great. In fact, actually, I just met somebody on the Cisco marketing team that knows all about us, who I had not met before. I introduced myself, and she says, "Oh, Noah and all these people that I work with on a day-to-day basis." I didn't know her.
That plays back to Prane's sort of point, I guess, about that there really is a genuine network there.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And in terms of, for yourself, Robin, the practical benefits of being face-to-face with people, I'm sure must count. But is it the kind of thing where you could sort of set up the stand and people just appear, or is there a lot more work in advance than that?
There's definitely a lot more work in advance, but I do want to call out the Cisco Investments team again, because they provide a pavilion for all the companies that they invest in. And it really does give you kind of a platform broader than some of the companies who pay for sponsorships. So from that perspective, you have certain cachet coming in. You have customers who are looking for you because, hey, this is something that Cisco is investing in. We should learn more about it. And I think that cachet really translates to the level of contact that you have at these type of events.
But I wanted to move on a little bit and talk about kind of access to customers. And I'm really interested in all the shared views here. Is it the kind of situation where customers wake up in the morning with a burning desire to contact you and they know about your kind of products, or are you really trying to create a market that is novel to them?
Well, you'd really always hope it's the first, I suppose. But yeah, often it's the second, particularly in the industry we work in, IoT, smart products, connected products. You actually have to sell the vision to those customers. So, a lot of thought goes into it on our side about what markets are we going after, what verticals, what are their problems specifically, what are we trying to do to address them, and then developing solutions that will actually solve some of those problems for the customers.
I think that's a really, really valid point. It's very easy externally for people to think that you sell something, and particularly there's a stand here, there's a nice brochure and all the rest of it. And I want to bring you in on this in terms of customer problems. How do you identify problems that customers have, and how do you address them?
Yeah, from our standpoint, it's really engaging with what we call our Puppet practitioners, the people that really have the problems around configuration, around multiple devices, whether Cisco switches, routers, servers, so on and so forth. Those are the folks that really feel the pain in terms of what they're trying to accomplish from an operations standpoint. And what Puppet provides is that automation piece that many other companies don't provide today. So what we find is really solving that problem of simplifying a practitioner's life will actually open their job up to do other things that are more value add for the company.
Yeah, I really like that, simplifying the customer's life. I think that's a really nice way of putting it, quite a philosophical way of approaching selling in general. Is there a tried and tested method that you can use, or is it something that's very novel to each organization?
Well, it's going to be a bit different depending on the vertical that you're in, where are the watering holes that those folks drink at, the size of the customers. For us, it's really a consultative sale. Folks know that they need visualization software, they know they want to do something with their data, they know they have operational challenges. So we have those questions, we have those discussions. Well, what are the challenges? Let's show you what we've done for other customers. So case studies are really big. The reference accounts. Explaining what we've done, educating folks on the underlying technology. And to go back to your point earlier about these events, and this is the same thing, you have to do all the other marketing things. You have to do the social media build up. We're going to be at CiscoLive, we're going to be at the event. You have to be active at the event. I've been very active on social media here. You go look at the CiscoLive hashtag on Twitter, you'll see N3N. So you have to keep that pace going and keep the awareness up.
Said, sometimes I think people feel like you can just do it all online now, or there's a kind of perhaps a traditional mechanism of doing it. When do you find the time, I guess, in the kind of day-to-day sort of business? And is it more about what the customer's using, or is it more about what you want to say to the market?
Well, I'm a product guy more than a sales guy, so my day job doesn't allow me any time really to think about customers from that perspective. But actually, the real value of a show like this is being directly in touch with people that you might not necessarily interact with otherwise. So for me, it's been a valuable experience from a product perspective. It gives me an idea of where the product might go, what some of the future problems that we might need to address might lie. So, a couple of the people I've spoken to today already have sort of, flashed little light bulbs in my head about, oh, well, we could be doing this, we could be doing that. So
that's a really, really good point. And I think it's interesting from a kind of an outsider perspective sometimes, or from people who are planning to come to their first event, when thinking about that it actually is pure sales. And of course, actually it's not. It's relationships, as you both spoke about, consultative kind of approach, and fundamentally also understanding, I guess, not only what the customers are looking for, but also seeing a little bit about the market as well and sparking those ideas. I want to finish by asking all you gentlemen for just one single top tip for finding customers, and whether that's your direct business or whether that's just something you've been part of, I'd absolutely love to know. I'm going to start with yourself.
Have a solid product.
Well, that's brilliant, and in a tweet-sized comment as well. Absolutely. Great. What about yourself, Robin?
I think it's really important to know your core customer and target the activities that really the core customers come to, like an event like CiscoLive.
Yeah, fantastic. And Parain, I know sales isn't your day-to-day job, but I'd love to get your tips on this.
Yeah, I would say know the problem that your customers have that you're trying to solve. Not just necessarily what they tell you, but actually try and understand what the root of the problem is.
I think those are three absolutely fantastic summaries. Really get to the heart of it, having a great product in the first place, understanding and identifying the consumer, and then of course perhaps identifying the needs that even they didn't know they had themselves. Gentlemen, thanks so much indeed for being here with us on the stand, and have a great rest of the show. Thank you very much indeed.